The history of Nokia begins on May 12, 1865, when mining engineer Fredrik Idestam, a native of Finland, which was then a Grand Duchy of the Russian Empire, founded a small paper mill powered by hydroelectric energy in the city of Tampere, in southwest Finland. The intention was to meet the growing demand for paper in Europe, driven by industrialization and the advance of the press. In 1868, seeking to expand production, Idestam opened a second factory on the banks of the Nokianvirta River near the town of Nokia. This new location, more strategic and with better access to water, eventually gave its name to the future company. In 1871, together with his business partner Leo Mechelin, Idestam turned his enterprise into a formally incorporated company, Nokia Ab. During the late 19th century, Nokia established itself as one of the main paper producers in the region, focusing mainly on export to European markets. Finnish paper was valued for its high quality and purity, which resulted from the use of wood from well-preserved local forests. Throughout the 1880s and 1890s, Nokia began seeking ways to diversify, and Leo Mechelin, who was also a politician and visionary, tried to convince Idestam to expand the company's business beyond paper. Idestam initially resisted, preferring to keep the focus on the paper industry. However, after Idestam's retirement in 1896, Mechelin took the lead and began implementing his vision. So, by the end of the 19th century, Nokia was already taking its first steps toward electrification. The company started investing in electricity generation and the related infrastructure, really laying the groundwork for the kind of industrial diversification that would come about in the 20th century. At the start of the 20th century, Nokia Ab had become pretty well established as a manufacturer of high-quality paper, earning a solid reputation both in Finland and across Europe. With Leo Mechelin at the helm, the company kept searching for new opportunities to expand its business. Meanwhile, other Finnish companies were starting to grow and develop. Two of them, in particular, would go on to play a major role in Nokia's future. One of these was founded in 1898, with the goal of making rubber products like bicycle tires, boots, hoses, and industrial belts. It was first set up in Helsinki, but a few years later, the company moved its operations to Nokia to take advantage of the hydroelectric power generated by Nokia Ab. Founded in 1912, this company started as a producer of electrical, telephone, and telegraph cables. With the advance of electrification and communications, its products became increasingly essential for national infrastructure and Finland's industrial development. During the first decades of the 20th century, Nokia Ab remained focused mainly on paper production and electric power, but maintained commercial and logistical relations with these other two companies. The city of Nokia, increasingly industrialized, became a strategic point for production and transportation. World War I, from 1914 to 1918, and Finland's independence in 1917, impacted industrial businesses in the country, creating both challenges and opportunities. There was growing demand for basic industrial products such as rubber and cables, as well as paper for communication and propaganda. By the early 1920s, the idea of closer collaboration among the three companies, Nokia Ab, Finnish Rubber Works, and Finnish Cable Works, began to form. This collaboration aimed to consolidate resources, further diversify business, and prepare to face post-war economic instability. This collaboration intensified in the following decades, culminating in the official merger of the three companies in the 1960s, which gave rise to Nokia as a diversified industrial conglomerate. But it all started with these industrial and strategic roots in the early 20th century. In the 1920s, after Fredrik Idestam's death and Leo Mechelin's retirement, Nokia Ab continued operating as a paper and power company, while Finnish Rubber Works and Finnish Cable Works grew in their sectors. During this period, the three companies were still independent but increasingly interconnected. Finnish Rubber Works had already moved part of its production to the city of Nokia, taking advantage of the region's natural resources and energy, strengthening physical and logistical ties among the companies. The global financial crisis also affected the Finnish economy. Demand for paper dropped, and industrial markets entered recession. Still, the three companies survived by focusing on cost reduction, essential production, and local markets. Finland's self-sufficiency helped keep part of the production active. In the 1930s, Finnish cable works began standing out with the production of telephone and electrical cables, essential for national infrastructure growth. The company also invested in research and development, anticipating future technological demands. Meanwhile, Finnish Rubber Works expanded its product line beyond boots and tires, producing technical rubber items used in industry and railways. Nokia Ab consolidated itself as a producer of electricity and cellulose, focusing on meeting Finland's growing domestic demand. During World War II, the three companies played crucial roles in the national effort. Nokia provided energy and paper to the government. Rubberworks produced boots, tires, and materials for military use, and Cableworks manufactured cables for military communications and electricity, which were essential during the conflicts between Finland and the Soviet Union. Despite the war's difficulties, this period really strengthened the group's industrial capabilities, and, many technological innovations developed for military purposes would later be applied in the civilian industry. By the late 1940s, after the war ended, Finland's reconstruction required large infrastructure investments, which directly benefited the cable, rubber, and energy sectors. With that, the synergies among Nokia Ab Finnish Rubber Works and Finnish Cable Works became more evident. They began sharing resources, logistics, distribution networks, and market strategies, although they remained legally separate. This process of closer cooperation, which, had really started informally decades before, gained strength in the following years. It was preparing the ground for the definitive merger that would transform these three companies into a powerful industrial conglomerate, the future Nokia Corporation. In the 1950s, the global industrial environment was, honestly, energized by post-war recovery and advances in electrification and urbanization. Finnish companies Nokia Ab, Finnish Rubber Works, and Finnish Cable Works already operated in an integrated way, but, the time had come to unify their operations. In 1967, the three companies officially merged, forming an industrial conglomerate named Nokia Corporation. This new company combined four main areas: paper and cellulose, rubber products like tires and footwear, electrical and telecommunications cables, and, of course, emerging industrial electronics. The merger brought synergy and allowed Nokia to invest in research, innovation, and technological diversification, becoming one of Finland's largest conglomerates. Already in 1960, even before the merger, Finnish Cableworks had created an electronics division, initially developing radio transmitters and later telecommunications systems. After the merger, this division was integrated into the new Nokia, giving rise to the area that decades later would become the company's core. During the 1970s, Nokia worked with public and private telephone systems and radios for security forces and industrial automation equipment. The company also began partnerships with universities and research centers to train specialized electronics engineers. Additionally, Nokia started operating in computers and military technology, developing radars, control systems, and even large-scale computers. Even with strong local presence, Nokia was already targeting international markets, exporting telecommunications equipment and industrial products. The foundation was laid for Nokia to become one of the biggest global technology names in the coming decades. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, Nokia operated across multiple sectors: paper, rubber, cables, electronics, and telecommunications. But with digitalization advancing and mobile telephony emerging, a new path was opening. In 1981, Nokia helped launch the Nordic Mobile Telephone, or NMT network. It was the world's first fully automatic cellular phone system, connecting Finland, Sweden, Norway, and Denmark. The company produced network equipment and, began developing its own mobile phones. In 1982, Nokia launched its first car phone, the Mobira Senator. It was large, expensive, and really aimed at businesses. In 1987, the Mobira Cityman came out, and it was honestly one of Europe's first portable cell phones. It became famous after Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev used it in a historic call to Moscow. In the early 1990s, Nokia faced financial problems and, honestly, a pretty serious internal crisis. The company was involved in so many sectors, and that lack of focus really started to hurt their results. Things only got worse after the death of CEO Kari Kairamo in 1988. But, the turnaround came under Jorma Ollila's leadership, who became CEO in 1992. He made a radical decision to sell all non-telecommunications and technology divisions, like paper, tires, and cables. Instead, Nokia would focus entirely on mobile telecommunications, and well, this bet really paid off. In the late 1990s, Nokia launched several cell phone models that became extremely popular for their durability, simplicity, and innovative design. The brand pretty much became synonymous with mobile phones. Models like the Nokia 2110, which was the first with the Nokia Tune ringtone, the 6110, known for the Snake game, and the 3210, famous for its compact design and interchangeable covers, all made history. In 1998, Nokia surpassed Motorola and became the world's largest cell phone manufacturer. Its motto at the time, "Connecting People," really reflected the company's mission to bring communication to every part of the world. In the 2000s, Nokia was at the top globally. It dominated the mobile phone market with models like the Nokia 1100, one of the best-selling phones in history, the 6600 N-Gage, and the In-Series line, which, combined elegant design and powerful cameras. By 2006, Nokia held more than 40% of the global cell phone market. From 2001 to 2007, Nokia was the global leader in cell phones but lost ground with the arrival of the iPhone and Android. In 2011, it partnered with Microsoft but failed to regain market share. In 2014, it sold its mobile division to Microsoft. Since then, Nokia has focused on telecommunications infrastructure, 5G networks, and technology for enterprises, regaining relevance in the tech sector. From humble beginnings as a riverside paper mill in 1865 to becoming a symbol of global connectivity that once defined how the world communicated, Nokia's extraordinary journey across centuries reflects not just the evolution of technology, but the spirit of human innovation. A company that dared to reinvent itself again and again, rising through wars, revolutions, and digital revolutions, proving that while devices may change and markets may shift, the power of vision, resilience, and adaptation will always define those who shape the future. If you liked the video, please leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell.